Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. My name's Wyatt and today I'll be teaching you how to script a donate GUI on Roblox. Okay, so before I show you how to make this script, I just want to show you how it works. So all we have to do is go into the game, we can click the button on the left side of our screen to open this donate GUI, and then when we click on the selected amount and we click buy, we can donate the Robux. Okay, so now that you know what the script does, I actually want to show you how to make it. So the first thing that we're going to want to do is create our donation GUI. All this is a screen GUI. We have a frame underneath of it, and then inside of that frame we have a title. It just says donate Robux, and then we have a button that the user is going to click to donate the Robux. And then the last element we have is a donate button right here, and this is what they're going to use to open and close the GUI. You could make this on your own, or you could use the model in the description of the video. It's exactly what I have here. It'll be nice and easy for you to set it up. So now that we have our GUI made, what we're going to do is we're going to create a new script under the purchase button. And this script is actually going to handle when they click the purchase button, and that's going to prompt them for the purchase of the dev product so that they can actually donate to your game. So I'm just going to name this script purchase script, but you can name it whatever you'd like. And then now what we're going to do before we actually get into coding this purchase script, I want to go over how we're actually going to handle the donations. So we're going to be using something called dev products to handle the donations. Our users are going to be purchasing dev products. And all a dev product is it's like a game pass where the users buy it for Robux, but rather than having it so you can only purchase it one time, you can purchase a dev product multiple times. So if we have a dev product and maybe it's a 50 Robux donation, that's the name of it, and it costs 50 Robux, the players could keep donating 50 Robux over and over and over again. So it's easy and you don't have to limit them on how many times they can donate to your game. So the way we're going to create the dev product is we're going to click on this tab up here that says Game Settings, and then I'm going to click on Monetization. And then right here you can see I already have a dev product set up, but I'm just going to create a new one. And all we're going to do is I'll just edit my previous one, or we'd want to edit the new one, but I'm just going to go into this one. We're going to click Edit, and then right here it says Name. We're going to give the dev product a name, so I'm naming mine 50 Robux donation. And then you set the price of the dev product. So you just want to click Save after you do that, and then you have your dev product set up. Now we actually need a way to get a reference for it in our script. So I'm going to create a new int value underneath of this purchase button. Just like this, and I'm just going to name it dev product ID. You can name it whatever you like as long as you change it later on. And this int value is where we're going to store the ID of this dev product. So right here, ours is going to be 50 Robux donation, and you can see it gives us this product ID on the side, 10106998859. So I'd want to type that in right over here where it says 0. For now, I'm just going to set mine to 1. But you want to set it to that so it prompts purchase for the right dev product. After this, we can head into our purchase script and we can actually work on coding and when the button gets clicked. So the first thing I want to do is I want to get a reference to our local player. So I'm going to say local player equals game.players.local player. And then I also want to get a reference to our marketplace service, and all the marketplace service is going to do is allow us to prompt the user for the purchase, allow that gray GUI to come down so that the user can spend the Robux on our game. So I'm going to say local marketplace service, hook it up to a variable, equals game:get service, marketplace service. Now what I want to do is I want to get a reference to our dev product ID, the value of this. So in this case, it's going to be 1. But we want to get this dynamically. We want to get it from this value. So I'm going to set up a new variable, local dev product ID equals script.parent, which is the button right here, .dev product ID, which is this int value, and then I want to get the value of this int value. So right now the value is 1. If you had your ID in here, it looks something like that, and it would put this value in the variable. But I think it's just easier, since we're going to clone this button a bunch of times, just to have it inside of this int value rather than changing it in the script. And then after this, we only have one more variable to set up. I just want to get a reference to our purchase button, which is just script.parent. This is what they're going to click on. So I'll say local purchase button equals script.parent. And now what we can do is we can get when the button is clicked. So when the person clicks the button, they want to donate 50 Robux. We want to hook into that event, the mouse click event of the purchase button. So I'm just going to say purchase button dot mouse button one click, connect it up to a function. And then in here, we only have one line of code that we're going to run when they click it. we want to prompt the user for the purchase of that dev product. So we're going to call marketplace service prompt, not Game Pass purchase, not premium purchase, but product purchase, because this is a dev product. And then in here we have two arguments to this function. The first one is the player that we want to prompt the purchase for. So I want to prompt it for Orange Dude 4221, or the local player in this case, so I'm just going to say player. And then we want to pass in our dev product ID because we need to tell it what does the player might want to buy. You know, if we were doing a Game Pass, we put in the Game Pass ID, but we want to do a dev product, so we're going to pass in our dev product ID variable, which is whatever you created in that game settings tab up here that's found there. So that's actually all we have to do for this script. Super easy, and it'll already prompt us for the purchase. Let's see, if we just head into the game, we click 50 Robux. There we go. I have it set to 1, so this is somebody else's product, right? But we have it set like that, so whenever we click on it, it's going to purchase, and the player can purchase and donate to our game. So now you're probably wondering, hey Wyatt, that's awesome. We have won. My players can donate 50 Robux, but I'm going to be poor with 50 Robux. I need some more money. How do we make it so that we can have maybe 100 Robux donation? So the way that we're going to do that is I'm going to duplicate this purchase button right here, and I'm just going to move it down a little bit. It doesn't matter where you locate it, but I'm just going to move it down to make it look nice. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the text of this to maybe 1,000 Robux, because I want the user to be able to donate 1,000. And then inside of this, because of the way we have it set up, where it just pulls from this int value, all we have to do is go back into game settings, monetization, and then we create a new developer product, and we go into edit, and we do the same thing we did before, and we're just going to put that ID right there. So we can do the same thing as before, and it'll be very, very, very easy to set up so that we can prompt the user for the purchase, and that's all you have to do. Again, I'm just setting mine to 1, but if we go into the game, both of these buttons, because we have scripts under both of them, they'll prompt us for the purchase. We can test it out. The one prompts us, and the second one prompts us as well. So after this is awesome. We have our GUI up, very cool. But what we need to do is we don't want our GUI on the screen all the time. Our players would get really bored just looking at this Donate Robux GUI in the middle of our screen. We want them to be able to play the game. So what I'm going to do is I want to script this donate button on the side, and all this is going to do is allow this GUI to be opened and closed whenever they press the button. It's like a toggle button type thing. So I'm going to hover over our donate button on our Explorer, and I'm going to create a new script underneath of it. It'll be a local script, and I'm just going to name it toggle donate frame, but you can name it whatever you'd like. And then inside of this script, we're going to do exactly what I just said. If the GUI is off the screen, so let's just say the visible property is set to false, the GUI is invisible. When they click the button, we want to set this GUI to visible, and we want to set the text of this button to close so that they know they can close it. Then, if they click the close button, what we want it to do is set the text back to donate, and then we want this be visible to false. We want it to be invisible so that they can toggle the GUI back and forth as many times as they want. So in here, I'm going to delete these first few lines. And the first thing I want to do is get a reference to our donate button, the thing that they're going to click. So I'm just going to say local donate button equals script.parent. And it's super easy just because the script is underneath of that donate button. And then I want to also get a reference to our donate frame, which is right here. We can actually set it visible to true, which would in this case be script.parent.parent.donate frame. So we'll just set that up in a variable, local donate frame equals script.parent.parent.donate frame. And then after this next step is optional in line 4. I want to set this visible to false, this donate frame. I want to make it invisible when the players join the game, just in case maybe I was developing in Studio and I forgot to check this off when I published my game. So I'm just going to do it in the script. We're just going to say donate frame.visible equals false. And again, that's just going to make it so that they can't see it until they press that button. And then after this, we can actually hook into that button and we can get when the player clicks it. So once again, we're going to hook into the mouse button one click event of the donate button. We'll connect it up to a function. And then in this function, the first thing that we're going to do is we want to have an if statement. And this if statement is going to check if the GUI is visible or if it's invisible. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to say if donate frame dot visible is equal to false. So if the GUI is not on the screen, if it's not open, Then I want to open it up by saying donate_frame.visible equals true. And then I want to set this text on this button right here to close so that the player knows that they can press close to close the GUI. So I'll say donate_button.text equals close as a string, just like that. And then we want to have an else inside of this if statement, an if-else statement. So otherwise, if the GUI is already visible, if the frame is up here and it says close and all that, what we want to do is we want to set the GUI to invisible, and then we want to set the text back to donate so that the players knows they can press donate to open it up. So we'll say donate frame.visible equals false, and then donate button.text equals donate, kind of like the opposite of what we had before. And that's actually all we have to do for this. If we go into the game, we can test it out. The GUI is going to be set to invisible at false because of that optional line we put on there. And if we just click on donate, it'll prompt us with the GUI. We can click the amount, maybe we purchase it, and then we click close, and we can close the GUI. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you learned something new today about scripting on Roblox. As always, I'll have the code along with the Roblox model link with all the assets shown in this video in the description, and I'll see you guys later.